Grew up in a small town. You trust everything you hear, and your word is all you have. And your word is your bond. There's a humility part of Fairway that's very important. And I personally think that's an upbringing from a small town. Nobody has any money in small towns. Nobody cared. But as long as you treated people good, that was all that mattered. 25 plus years later, Fairway, that's what we look for. High school picture, I know, it's hard to imagine. I get that. High school athlete.
Hardyville is a town only about 25 miles north of Madison. Jacobson hits again. Boy, I'll tell you, that guy is so impressive, so impressive.
I played basketball in college at the University of Wisconsin. It's an embarrassing part of my life. I mean, you can Google it, 13 points my whole college basketball career. I played for a college coach, and I just watched how people were treated and how talent was treated and how it didn't perform if it wasn't encouraged. You know, if you believe in your teammates, they can do amazing things. If you pound on your teammates and beat them up, you can take talent and squash it. And hopefully some of the attributes of Fairway are taken positive from that experience in college. Couldn't wait to get out of Wisconsin after college. It's like, what am I going to do? A friend of mine was in the mortgage business, and long story short, I was at a place 12 and a half years, and some stuff changed, so I left and went to another place for a brief minute, and everything I was told wasn't true. So the backdrop of Fairway is, let's start something that people can trust what they hear and have that word, because at the end of the day, what do you have other than your word? This is my really good buddy in high school, Randy Cross. He's the one that named the company. Incorporated the company in 1996 in Texas. Found out my dad was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. This is me with my dad right there. He was my unconditional person that is on your side no matter what. And the reason we're in Wisconsin, it all goes back to my dad. He had an operation Christmas Day '96 for a liver transplant that he never really recovered from. He never made it home. 26 months later, he died at age 60. And during those 26 months, I never talked to him again. It's called the locked-in syndrome, where you know what's going on, but you can't move anything. He had a trach, he had a feeding tube, he died a horrific death. That was my #1 fan. And when you lose that person in your life, it changes everything. I haven't drank in 19 and a half years, there's reasons for that. The drinking stopped because of my dad. If I do nothing else in my life but break the alcoholism deal, at least it stopped this generation. I wanted to break the pattern for my family. The way we set up Fairway was really the outside in. The outside in meaning you start with the branch first, you start with the originator first. How can he or she have a 10 experience every day? You have to have fast decision making at point of sale. You have to be able to say yes, no, or maybe in day 1, 2, or 3, and you got to be able to get docs and title within 3 days of closing. And our unique selling proposition is speed. And it's not about what we say we're going to do, it's about what we do. As we started to grow, we figured we needed to, figure out our why. Personally, I always knew the why from the very start of Fairway, but we wanted to get it on paper. And so that's where the core values started. This industry is very humbling. We start off as humility, #1. And speed to respond is something that every company can do, but in order to do it, you have to lead it, you have to staff for it, and you have to do it consistently. But then you skip to 3, it's fun. We want to keep it light here. In the mortgage business, part of I've always liked about there's pressure here. Most people only buy 2 or 3 or 4 homes in their lifetime. So it's important to them. If it doesn't go well, they become lunatics. I've always liked that pressure because it kind of reminds me of sports. And so this has been the closest thing for me personally to the athletic background, in that it's important, there's pressure, and it's fun because you're making a difference in people's lives. It's a big deal for people, and some people that are really struggling, it's still that lifelong dream to own a home. And we're part of that lifelong dream. It can be pretty cool. So really, initially for me, it's the intrinsic reward system. Didn't really think about the money, didn't have any money growing up, so didn't care about it. I was more attracted to the intrinsic reward system of the industry. The thing that sets Fairway apart is the people. We hopefully attract people, the unpretentious, humble givers. We have 3 different nonprofits, and one of them is run by my sister, Fairway Cares. Whenever somebody has extreme loss or has going through something, we send packages, we do grants for them, we just do stuff for them that hopefully cheers them up a little bit. Yeah, the other one is the Fairway Foundation. That's more internal. That's more, there's a hurricane, there's a tornado, their family's been devastated by this. And then another one is all centered around veterans. And we call it American Warrior Initiative. And we want it to be about the veterans. And last year, they gave away 100 service dogs. In 2020, we had the chance to take Fairway public, and we were told our valuation could have been in the $4 to $6 billion range. And when you're a small town kid from a little town and you own 55% of a place, you know, it can be interesting to take a look at that. But then the further we went, we looked at some of the things we would have to take away. And when we learned what we'd have to take away, it was an immediate decision to say no. We started a coaching company 5 years ago. We got 1,600 people being coached internally. We help Fairway Ignite financially each year, and that coaching company is a big part of driving some successes we're having today. We wouldn't be able to do that. We do annuities for people when they get to a retirement point that costs us X. We wouldn't be able to do that. One of the things we did that we wouldn't be able to do if we were a public company is in 2020, March, when the pandemic first hit, we made the decision to buy cardiovascular equipment for people that had been at Fairway over a year. That spend is now just under 20 million, and it's probably one of the best things we've done just because people use them, and it's important for people to stay healthy. The fun stuff that we think makes Fairway special,
present this house to you, Kevin,
we would not be able to do. So once we learned what we couldn't do, we said we're not going to do it. When COVID happened, there was moments in April of 2020 where we weren't sure we were going to make it through that time. We ended up deploying everybody to work from home, and we did that on a dime. We got through it, and we were very fortunate. The mission of Fairway is to continue humbly serving and helping people that are looking to buy a home or refinance their home. And we have opportunities to help people. And it's not real grandiose, it's not real sexy, but it's just helping and serving people each day.